Hi, this is Rohan and I am the founder and chief product officer at MagTapp. MagTapp is world's first visual web browser with inbuilt document reader, visual dictionary, translation and online books library feature, all in just 33 MB. In a nutshell, MagTapp is a reading app which helps in reading content either offline or online with visual meanings. Our whole mission through MagTapp is to solve language barrier problem which is faced by billions of people globally who are not great with English vocabulary. We have acquired more than 1 million users in less than 6 months' time, and after the success of MagTapp app, we created M Dictionary, which is world's first visual dictionary with more than 1 million visual meanings and 6 million word meanings, and offline translation support as well. We have raised 4 crore in funding as of now. How did I start? Well, I was very lucky that I identified my passion very early in my life and I was clear about what I wanted to do when I grew up. When I look around, one problem which I find majority of students facing is that they don't know what they love to do and they don't know what they want to do when they grow up. They take career advice from their parents, teachers, friends or anyone whom they find successful. Now there is nothing wrong in this, but I believe the best career advice you can get from someone is you yourself, and that's how I got mine and I'm doing quite well. Started MagTapp last year, acquired more than 1 million users in less than 6 months time, created more than 2 applications and raised 4 crore in funding as of now. How did I get here? Well, I was never interested in competitive exams. I knew this fact clearly that I wouldn't be able to qualify those exams regardless of the fact that I scored good grades in school, more than any average student scored. Majority of jobs in India, whether it is private or government, require some kind of exam qualifications. And I knew this fact clearly that I was not interested in competitive exams. So all of these exams were out of my question. The only option which I was left with was entrepreneurship or building something of my own or starting my own company. And I found this interesting, achievable and doable. This was something which I was passionate about from the initial stage. Every year, around 10 lakh students apply for IIT JEE exams for the seat of just 13,000, which is hardly 1.5%. In 2018, 11 lakh students applied for UPSC exams and only 758 candidates were selected. This is like 0.069 passing rate. This year, around 16 lakh students applied for NEET exam and seats were just 10,500. Which is hardly 0.65% qualifying rate. For top engineering college, only 1.5% is the passing rate. For top government exams, only 0.069 is the qualification rate. For top MBBS colleges, only 0.65% is the passing rate. And the truth is that everyone who studies or looks for job falls into these 3 major categories and looks for best colleges for best job. So doing a startup was much more easier than getting into IITs or becoming a gadgeted officer. And this was something which I enjoyed doing, I was passionate about. And these metrics were enough for convincing myself. By now I was sure about what I wanted to do. Initially it all started by finding ways to make money online. I tried it for multiple years, I did lot of experiments, but didn't make any significant amount. Finally I realized that if I run after making money, I will never make any significant amount. I have to look for problem which is faced by people around me, and I have to build products for those problems. So I started looking for problems which I can solve and make impacts in the lives of people around me. And that's how my startup journey started. Here are few lessons from my journey. Invest time in finding your passion, something which you can do even after continuous failure. Building a startup or a business is not an easy task. You are going to experience failure multiple times. So if you are doing something which you love to do, which you enjoy to do, you won't mind doing it again and again even after continuous failure. Remember, when you are young and you want to do something big, people around you are not going to take you seriously and you have to accept this fact. I started my first startup when I was in class 11th. We wanted to build a company where anyone can learn how to code for free, and we were even guaranteeing jobs after teaching them how to code. I even dropped from science to commerce to pursue this dream, to build this company in the middle of year. It took us almost 5 months of time to build the whole product. I started pitching this product to local coaching institutions for attracting students from those institutions to our platform. but none of those institutions showed interest in our product. They asked me to focus on my own studies. I pitched this idea to more than 50 coaching institutions. None of them showed any kind of interest. Finally, I had to drop this idea after working for more than 6 months on this whole product with my younger brother. I had no regrets because I was doing something which I loved and enjoyed. I had no obligations towards anyone. I learned a lot of things. The most important thing which I learned from this startup was the art of product development, and this is something which has helped me a lot in building MagTapp. Now let's talk about my second lesson from my startup journey. You can't do everything on your own. You need to have someone who can back you always. Now this reminds me of a quote that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Now I understand that when you are starting, you are limited on money and resource. In fact, you are without money and resource. So building a team is very tough task for you. In fact, I also face this problem, and every successful entrepreneur out there in the market faces this problem. And this is one of those roadblocks which can either make your company or break it. Yes, you got it. I am talking about finding a right co-founder. A right co-founder can really make your company and take it to greater height. If you're starting a business, you can do that alone. In fact, most of the small businesses in India are one-person company, and a lot of them are doing good. But if you want to build a successful company, a thriving company, it's very hard to do it alone. We all have strengths and weaknesses. In fact, this is life. The key is becoming aware about them and developing strategies to leverage strength and mitigate weaknesses. Your co-founder should be the one who can take care of your weaknesses very well. Manage the company when you are not here. I was very lucky and fortunate that my younger brother started showing interest in the things which I was doing. When I started blogging, he also created his own blog. When I started learning programming and software development for creating my own products, he also started learning programming. In fact, he became better in programming than me, and that's where I decided that I should leave programming for him and focus on rest of the things like product development, marketing, finance. And that's how I found my co-founder. A great co-founder can only build on relationship, not in exchange of money. And if you're trying to bring co-founder by paying them something, you're doing something very wrong. A co-founder should be someone who believes in your idea, who can take bets with you, who can always be with you. Because when you start, you are going to face lot of failures, and he should be the one who should be always with you regardless of the fact that how many times you fail. So if you are bringing founders in exchange of money, they are not going to stay with you for a very long period of time. You need to bring co-founders based on your personal relations, and that's how I did mine, and that's how most of the successful companies are built. We did 3 to 4 startups together and learned lot of things. I also built good relationship with Satyapal ji on Facebook, and that made him discuss the idea of one-tap visual meaning with me. And as we had prior experience in product development and programming, we 3 came on board and started MagTapp. Remember, it's very difficult to do something revolutionary when you are alone. I hope you understand the value of co-founder now. My third lesson from the startup journey is read as many books as possible. When I started, I was too young to be taken seriously. Nobody knew me and I was not that social. And when you are not social, finding a mentor is very tough task. In fact, you must have faced something similar problems while starting up. Building a business or a startup is not an easy task. It requires lot of hard work, knowledge and patience. There will be times when chances of success is very less and you will need to make bold bets. Building a business or a startup is not an easy task. It requires lot of knowledge, patience, consistency, integrity and hard work. There will be time when chances of success is very less and you have to make decisions. You will have to take chances, make bold bets, and even after trying so much, making so much efforts, chances are there that you will fail. But since you are working on something which you believe in, you have to keep going until it becomes successful. Now, how will you prepare yourself for these many obstacles, failures and problems without someone telling you about them? Well, you have to read books about people who have done this before, created multi-billion-dollar companies before. If you can't learn from them directly, you have to learn from their experience by reading books about them, by reading their journey, how they solved problems which came on their path. And these all things you will only find in books. My first startup failed when I was in class 11. And after this failure, I started reading lot of books. I used to hide books under the table and read books while teacher was teaching. I was enjoying these books because I was learning lots of things from the experiences of successful people while they were building their companies. I was learning about problems which they faced while building their companies. And after reading these books, I realized that failure is normal. It takes a lot of hard work, patience, integrity, consistency for overnight success. Your first few businesses will fail before you make any dent in the universe. And gratitude is key. You have to be optimistic even if nobody believes you. I learned that the biggest difference between great leaders and mediocre leaders is great leaders take chances. They make bold decisions even when the chances of success is very less, and that's why they become great. And you will also learn these lessons only when you read books. Nobody is going to tell you, nobody is going to come to you and tell you about their failure, about their success and its journey. So the only way to acquire knowledge while starting up is read books. Read books about people from whom you are inspired. Read books about people who are very successful in your industry. And that's how you are going to learn and acquire knowledge. Knowledge is key, remember. So you have to read as many books as possible to acquire their experiences and avoid mistakes which they did in their journey. So I hope you learned a lot from my journey. I also wrote a blog about our product development journey on MagTapp's Medium page. You can read that blog post and learn from my experience of product development and mistakes which I did when we were starting up. Also, some of my data about exams might be ambiguous, but I hope you understand the message. I also thank my friend Rohit, founder and CEO of Maitre School, for inviting me to share my journey with future entrepreneurs of Maitre School. I hope you learned a lot of things about this. You can always connect me on LinkedIn by searching Rohan Singh MagTapp there. Rohit has also achieved a lot in a very young age, and his obsessions towards nation development is really commendable. Thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed my journey and learned a lot of things from my journey. Thank you and have a nice day.